Well, hello there, tankers of the Blitz universe. I'm Flossie, and today I will be reviewing the Sheridan. Now, in my opinion, this is the best tier 10 light in the game, and there are a couple of reasons for that, which I will be breaking into shortly. However, right now I will start off with the tank stats. Starting off with the gun, in fact, the tank has a 560 alpha damage gun on its standard shells, 490 on the premium, and 680 on the high explosive, so you are packing quite a punch with this tank. As for its penetration, it's 241 on the standard, 341 on its premium, and 99 on its HE. So the premium pen on this tank, it's the best for any light tank or medium at tier 10, period. It's quite incredible, actually, having 341 heat on a Sheridan. As for the gun handling, the aim time is 4.1 seconds, and the dispersion is 0.380. So, although that doesn't seem all that good on paper, or on stats in game, the tank is actually fairly accurate for what it is, and you're going to notice that the translation of aim time and dispersion into actual gameplay is not really all that. It doesn't do the tank justice. The tank is way more accurate in game than it looks like it is. The tank also carries 10 degrees of gun depression, so you can work most ridgelines. However, this tank has 0 armor, so you can't really play it all down, but you do have lots of flexibility, and you can shoot your opponents when they are, like, of course, below a ridge and you're above it. So you have lots of flexibility again. As for the DPM, it's 2474. Now, I am running calibrated shells just because I do want to get the most amount of premium pen I can out of this gun. And overall for that, it doesn't have that much DPM, but because of the high alpha, that doesn't actually really matter. In terms of the tank's mobility, the tank goes 65 forward and 22 in reverse with a power to weight of 32.7. So what that means is this tank is very, very fast, and you're not really going to have any issues when it comes to running away from people after you shoot them, backing up because it has a really nice reverse speed, and getting up to its top speed is actually fairly easy. So, why do I think this is the best tier 10 light in the game? Well, it's the combination of so many different things like the stats I just showed you. So having 560 alpha damage on a tank that can go 65 forward and 22 in reverse is quite stupid, actually. And it really means that you can just get in and out of positions so quickly in this tank. And using your 10 degrees of gun depression, you could pretty much just like roll up to a initial spotting position, shoot someone for 560, and then pull back into your cover before they can even hit you back. And that's really the playstyle of this tank. Now, speaking about the armor profile, it has none. Simple as that. This tank has 0 armor. And although I will say this, so it has 0 armor, but it does have spaced armor all around the hull. Now, there are certain spots on the hull where you can HE this tank. There's little, like, slits above where the tracks are, just below where the boxy part of the hull is. So you can kind of shoot in between where the track and the hull meet, and that is an HE pen there. As well as the rear lower part of the tank can be HE'd quite easily, and same with the lower plate of this tank. There's a very small portion of the lower front part that can be HE'd, as well as the entire turret can be HE'd, although it is kind of a troll shot with all the different angles on it. So yeah, this tank has 0 armor, and you're really going to want to be careful with that. Play it quite passively, but because of the... Oh my gosh, Leo, bro. Can you move? Because of the playstyle this tank has, where you have such high alpha damage and such good stats like its pen, and it's actually pretty accurate, it means you can just basically shoot at someone, and like I said before, you just back right into cover and reload in safety, and the enemies can only do so much about that. And I have to say, this is probably one of the most annoying tanks to go up against, just simply because of that factor right there. You see, we just hit the T22 for like 493, and although we took a shot, we just completely out-traded him. And although this is not looking too good, I will say, their KPZ has completely blocked off this side of the map from me being able to escape. Now, since he did shoot, I am going to run, and our heavy tanks just need to push this right now. They only have one heavy, and our team is actually scared of that right now, which is pretty impressive, I will say. We're probably going to get a shot. Oh my gosh. You can see there, the spaced armor on this tank is extremely troll, and for whatever reason, this tank does get a lot of bounces, and it really shouldn't. This tank should not be getting bounces. Now, hopefully this enemy team grows a pair of balls and actually pushes these guys. But as of right now, they haven't, and we're just losing the game because of that. I am going to have to back my way on out of this situation here because we do have the KPZ who is now back on our side there. And actually, I'm going to try and get a shell, clearing him off for 505. Now, that's pretty nice there because now we don't have to deal with him on our side anymore. Now, I'm actually going to take this position here. Hopefully, the E100 doesn't shoot me, which is nice. He actually didn't. And now I'm just going to basically keep this E100 in my sights, so then the enemy team can shoot him pretty effectively. You can see there, he shot his shell, and we use our nice heat pen to pen the angled E100 turret. And just like that, we're at 2.5k damage, and so far this game is looking okay, although it is slightly on the closer side of things, so I'm a little bit worried about that. And especially, I'm worried about tanks like their Foch. Foches are really annoying tanks to deal with in something like this because they're just really fast, and anything that's fast and has good armor is going to be dangerous to this tank. So yeah, basically this is the playstyle of the Sheridan. Though you can see here, you just get your shells out and then you just reposition yourself. You want to always be moving in this tank. You don't want to be playing like a TD, sitting in one spot and really not moving. You want to keep moving, like you shoot once and then you reposition your tank just so that it's harder for the enemy to gauge where you are. Now, this tank does struggle against hull-down mediums like the STB, simply because they can sort of just bully you without you being able to pen them. And since this tank doesn't have any turret armor, you don't really want to find yourself in a situation where you have to hull-down fight something else. Oh boy, what is this bat chat doing? He's AFK. Alright, then I won't really worry about the bat chat as of right now. You can see here, I really don't know what this Foch is doing. I mean, he's trying to kill us, but he kind of overdid himself there. He just went forward way too far, and that's it for him. Now, our STRV is a little bit of a damage farming player right here. He just kind of wanted me to kill that Foch instead of him. Look at this ramming damage. Now, this tank is awful at ramming, so don't do that. You are going to get out-rammed by everything. And, yeah, this tank weighs like 16 tons. But anyways, that was a really, really good game showcasing the tank's ability. And you could see there, since we were losing medium side so quickly, I was able to use my tank's amazing mobility to get myself over to the heavy flank and help out the heavies, which is something that you can do quite effectively in this tank. And you can see there we dealt 5,400 damage for our first battle and got an ace. And you can see here our team did absolutely nothing. So we basically carried that game by going over and helping our heavies because they didn't feel like pushing the two tanks that were on heavy side. So you can see just how influential this tank is, especially in that last game where you had tanks like the E100. When we did go over to heavy side, you had tanks like the E100 on their enemy team completely turn, avoid our entire enemy team, just like not care about them, and completely just stare at me because he knows that this tank is annoying. And because of that, our team got free shells into his side, and the second he turned around to try and shoot at them, I then poked out and dealt another like 500 something damage to him, which it's just a real pest of a tank to deal with. And again, it's just so influential because you don't even need to play on one specific side of the map. You can really do well flanking around and helping out both sides. Like you could see in that last game, I definitely saw the medium tank was losing that. So I decided to try and help our heavy flank who was stuck staring at two tanks that they weren't really able to deal with because they're bad. But they were basically just sitting in front of two tanks that they should have been able to clear really quickly, but they didn't. So I went over there and helped them clear them out quickly. So yeah. Anyways, we're on Mine Ruins for the second battle. And I'm really hoping our team goes mid because we need to really get mid control. And me going on the bridge can only do so much because I don't have any armor. And, yeah, you can see there we did get one really nice shell into the STRVK. And you can see where the mobility on this tank is just so strong again. Like, we're able to speed into the front line before anyone else can get up here and just shoot people when they're unaware of what's even happening in the game. And, that's just what makes this tank so strong. And we're going to get another shell into that Hori over there. And you can see here where the accuracy, again, like the last battle, the accuracy really isn't that bad for what this tank's alpha damage is. Now, this 50B, I would load an HE, but I don't really trust this tank's HE to actually pen that. And I'd rather just be able to do some damage with my standard. So we hit him for a nice roll of, I believe that was 634. I wasn't really paying attention. And now that we see the Hori shoot, unfortunately, that one doesn't pen, but I was hoping to get a shell into the Hori's superstructure. So again, like, the gun, it can be troll sometimes, but I mean, I'm not going to really fault the gun. It's supposed to be more troll than even that. Like, we only really had a couple of troll shells in total while playing this tank. And you can see there, I get another shell into the 50B. Unfortunately, he destroys not only my crew member, but the other module too, so I had to use both my repairs because... yeah, that's unfortunate when it happens one after the other, because, yeah, you just have to use both then. Wow, this Hori's armor is really trolling me. Oh my gosh. That's not fun at all. And what I'm going to do is actually run away, because their 57 heavy is looking like he wants to tunnel me. So I'm going to make my way over to the other side, right behind where their team was. So just to kind of annoy tanks like this STRV again. And, yeah, you can see him. He's kind of going to be staring at me for a little while here. I'm going to wait till the E50M shoots. And, actually, the STRVK kind of backs up. Unfortunately for me, I missed my shell on the E50. And, yeah, I mean, the gun's not really helping me out too much right now. But, I'm just going to keep being patient. And eventually I will get a shell into one of these guys. You can see there, 533 right into the STRVK. And just like that, he's only at 599 health, so pretty good for us. And if this 50B keeps sitting here, I will be able to get another shell into him. And just like that, he's now dead. You can see, again, where the alpha damage is just super nice. Being able to clear tanks that have that much health, especially late game in this tank, is super strong. Late game, the Sheridan, again, like I said, it's just incredible. It's such a good tank for being able to win late game situations. Because you can just run around, shoot someone once, and then you can basically speed away from them because this tank is faster than the majority of tier 10s. So, yeah, I mean, that shot was pretty stupid. I don't know how that bounced the E50, but we do pick up one more shell, and just like that, we dealt 4,000 damage. Not 5,000. I wasn't that good. But we dealt 4,000 damage for our second battle. And again, you could see there, positioning on the bridge early game really helped us get the couple of initial shots that we needed to do well that game and spot out their whole team. And just like that, I think that's a pretty good showcase of why the Sheridan is absolutely amazing. Anyways, for any of you out there who enjoyed today's video and aren't yet subscribed, you should probably do so. You can stay up to date on any of my new videos that come out, and it's a great way to support the channel. Anyways, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.